Yesterday, the battlegrounds were up in the American Riviera. Now the platoons clash on a different pasture, still with the same mission in mind: pulverize each other. Today, Westmont makes their much-anticipated return to Dean Harvey Field to take on Vanguard. Welcome, everybody, to Senior Day on the VSN. J.J. Johnson alongside Xander Zubiotti as usual. Zuby, the final day of the season is already emotional by itself. Those emotions will surely be to the 10th power as this year's closing ceremony coincides with the old rivals coming to town.
It sure is, and in bit of a sadder fashion, we don't even get to go to playoffs. We have to go through the first year, at least, as a Division II program. We can't even go anywhere after this, so this is officially the last day.
Westmont took both games yesterday. What is in store for the 197th meeting all-time? We are moments away from finding out. Be back in a moment on the VSN. Rain, plenty of it this morning, but that will probably not compare to the amount of tears that will be at this ballpark as it's the last start for two pitchers for Vanguard. Today we get to see the first one here in Spencer Edmondson, who's rocking the blue tops and the white bottoms for his last start of his college career. First pitch misses downstairs, facing against Weisermans for Westmont. Let's go and meet this Vanguard defense. Edmondson's battery mate will be another one of the Vanguard seniors that will be celebrated today, and Abe Hernandez, as he's back in the zone there for a 1-1. First base, Tristan Gallegos, and as usual, we're used to saying this, the rest of the infield is a bit of a makeshift one as we got Kip Formularo playing second base. Maz is going to be at short. Slikart at third as this ball's pulled to the aforementioned Slikart, and it's a fair ball drifting over into the warning track area. And now Weiserman's looking to head over to two. Slikart's got a cannon on him, but it's going to be offline as Weiserman's got himself a nice double.
Yeah, you know it was going to be a hard play for Slikart to make with the backhand, but you definitely don't want a ball kicking away like that.
It was going to be a tough play indeed for Slikart on the hot corner. Left to right in the outfield, Shiganaka, Davis, and Levi Hall will be in right field. And Zuby, I got to say, the dancing that this defense has had to do between Davis in center versus in left, I mean, we saw in the Hawaii series, it was just a whole hodgepodge of combinations that Vanguard was using. But it looks like today they're going to go and honor the senior.
Well, this hodgepodge defense hasn't been just because Peg wants to try new stuff. They have also had to deal with some injuries. Davis was out for a little bit, and now Buxton is going to be out for what seems like the rest of this year.
This ball's going to be glancing into the glove of Mazzaferro, showing off the good hops there as Maz is getting his feet wet still at short. He's played at second, he's played at third, and now obviously at short. The only position we haven't seen him play really is in right field.
That magnificent Mazzaferro just stays consistent with the defense.
That was Soper, by the way, who just lined out to short, and he's going to be followed by Patterson, another one of these Westmont bats who's been with the Warriors for quite some time. He'll be followed by Bryce McFeely, then Dunn, then DiMaggio, Bollinger, Hofstadler, and Mora as Hernandez snatches it in for a strike 0-1. Go and meet Edmondson, who's been struggling a little bit over his last few starts. He's now dropped to a 3-6 record, 5.75 ERA. The Hawaii trip was one to forget for him. Edmondson as well, 61 and now a third inning of work. 84 hits surrendered, 31 Ks, 35 walks. The 31 Ks, Zuby, not something that we were expecting from Edmondson so far this season. It looks like he's running out of gas, but those 31 Ks, as this ball is going to be lifted to left center. Davis has a ways to go, and it's going to drop in front of him. They're going to give him the green light. Davis going to try to show off his cannon there, but it's not enough. As we've got an RBI single, Westmont strikes first once again.
Yeah, the strikeouts came down, the walks went up, and a big part of that has to go with the breaking stuff not working out for Spencer this year. We saw right there the curveball hanging. Was a good pitch to Patterson, just got off the end of the bat, still turned it into a base hit. But it's what Spencer can go on throughout the game is really utilizing that fastball. He's only focused on using that fastball. We have not seen the slider and the curveball work as effective as we saw last year.
Edmondson, ball's pulled. And he gets past Slikart deep into left field. Shiggy's got a ways to go. And they're going to try to throw it over to two. Good idea. Famolaro tries to apply the tag, but not to be. Good throw by Shiganaka to make it interesting, but we've got runners on second and third.
Yeah, and a good job by Mazzaferro controlling the outfield right there, telling Shiggs go to second base, try to get the throw out there, had a better chance at that. And with the strength that Shiggs has, he threw a bullet to Kip at second.
No, I got to ask you, Zuby, as well, because we saw Shiggy in that HPU and the Chaminade series get some looks in center field and move Davis either to left field or out of the lineup completely, which was a bit unusual considering he's been our leadoff hitter for virtually the entire season, and he has yet to commit an error as well. So it's not like he's been making these mistakes, but what are your thoughts on having Shiggy in center versus in left?
I think...
And Bottoms with that maroon undercarriage. Tries to dot the knees. Packed house here at Dean Harvey Field. Biggest crowd of the season so far, as families have come from near and far to support their seniors. Hernandez try to snatch, but not to be. Trey Dunn, the redshirt junior, bat 297 on the season. Laced over the head of Mazzaferro. Westmont is striking early. Another green light signal as Shiggy will relay to Maz. Pump fake everywhere. 3-0 ball game early.
Yeah, these Westmont go on.
Well, Westmont was able, in game 2 that is, yesterday, Vanguard struck early. It was just Westmont struck more often, and their bats were consistent, couldn't hold up there. They had a couple in the first, a couple in the third, and fourth, fifth. I mean, just a steady dose of runs. It's weird because they're middle of the pack in all the categories that would indicate that you're scoring runs, but they're just, it's weird. It's one of those weird things in baseball.
Well, they have the third most runs in the conference.
Ball is lifted into fair foul territory, and it will go foul as Levi Hall's got the catch for the second out. Edmondson keeps going to that 12-6. That'll be on May 1st. They got a 9 and a 7. Game 1 starting at 4 p.m. And as there's runners on the move, hit and run. Slykart's got the line out to him. Westmont once again showing why they're number 1 team in the conference, and they're a threat for a national title run this year. 3-0 after the top of the first. Jackson Davis will lead off, but in the words of Drake, he might get hit with a Rico, as Joey Rico's on the hill for the Westmont Warriors, the sophomore from Visalia, California, one of 10 returners on their staff. Arms-wise, they've got plenty of returners in the offensive department, but a righty arm who's got his first pitch at the knees against Jackson Davis, who's going to be followed by Noah Madole, who's slid up. He's been bouncing around the lineup. We'll get to that in a moment, but Slykart's batting third. Gallegos cleaning up. Abe in the 5-hole. Shiggy, Hall, Famolaro, and Maz is your order. 1-1 is the count. Defensively for Rico, battery mate will be Hofstadler, one of the best catchers in the conference. Bryce McFeely at first, Soper at second, Mora at short, Patterson on the hot corner, Dunn, Bollinger, and Weiserman are going to be left to right in the outfield as a little comebacker for Rico. Getting his feet wet here at Dean Harvey Field, Zuby.
Yeah, the focus of Rico right now is just to see if that slide is going to work out for him. Talking with Green a little bit, he was saying the fastball, the velocity kind of dipped down a little bit, and that slider wasn't as sharp as they remember.
He's above 300, which I think we'll take it, Zuby, considering how often he has struck out, one of the top 10 in the conference in that category. But 304 hitter so far, OPS over 1,000, one of 2 for Vanguard. Colton Perez, who's not in the lineup for today, is our leader in OPS, as he's quickly behind 0-2.
Yeah, Slykart has really been a 3-outcome hitter. It's either home run, a strikeout, or a hit by pitch.
Oh, yeah.
He's tied for first on the team with 10 hit by pitches.
Chop foul, good barehanded. Oh no, he couldn't make the grab in the dugout. Looked like Zach Yates was the one. Their closer.
Got to work on that defense out there.
Well, don't talk about defense because we're praying that we don't see Zach Yates. We love Maximont Plazer as Slykart turns on this one to left field. It's carrying back towards the track, off the base of the wall. And Slykart's got to get on his horse. He was a little slow getting there. He thought it was a home run trot.
That looked like it hit off the top of the net. Didn't make any sound to indicate that it hit the fence.
They're going to go ahead and talk about this one. Slykart was definitely in his home run trot. Peg is adamant that it was a solo blast. Oh, man, it's already the first inning. You got to love this.
Starting off hot.
Well, this is something that we've seen a lot from Peg this year, is arguing with the umpires. And I got to say, you love Peg sticking up for his guys.
Yeah, he loves fighting for them.
We'll say on the home run shot, as it stands as a stand-up double for Slykart, on that ball, the way that the ball landed at the feet of the warning track, it looks as though it glanced off the net because of how soft. It didn't ricochet off that base of the wall. And they're going to go and keep it at a double. So, ooh, man. Well, if I'm Peg, I'm protesting. Does that sound familiar? Tristan Gallegos now will step up. As Vanguard, we were talking about, has an offense that is starting to cook a little bit. Gallegos is floating around that 300 mark. He's been dipping above and below, but he's currently sitting at 293. As an almost everyday guy, we saw Colton Perez actually get a start at first base in his place out in Hawaii.
Always working hard, seeing him late night in the batting cages. I'm hearing him late night in the batting cages.
Doesn't he know you got to get your booty rest, Zuby?
No, it's just me walking back when I park over by the Freeze Center.
Oh, man. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. So Vanguard thought they were going to be trailing 3-1. The top of the second for Westmont Warriors, J.J. Johnson alongside Xander Zubiati.
Batting eighth, playing catcher,
the man from Vista, California, previously over at San Diego Mesa, but that was quite some time ago. as this is a Westmont offense that has returned 20 players from last year. They only have one freshman who's in their lineup every day. That's Jesse DiMaggio. Can you believe that, Zuby? Out of all their players that have had a crack offensively, check foul there, none of them are new transfers.
I mean, with the coaching staff led by...
He's the 16th coach all-time for the Warriors. And Robert Ruiz was coaching a couple of seasons ago. He left in 2022 to be the athletic director for Westmont. He's the winningest coach of all time at 397 wins. Svagdis, though, his career record is 807 and 493, if you could believe that. He's closing in on 1,000 within the next few years. And
the staff.
Tyler Latore was the previous coach last season. He won his natty in his first year, and he also led the first year in the Pac West. This is going to be a bunt foul, 2-1. Tyler Latore, that is, went 81 and 24 and 3. Yeah, 3 ties in 2 seasons. Not something you see very often, but he left to take the Pepperdine head coaching job, so congratulations to him. But Svagdis was at APU from 2003 to 2021, so he's very familiar with how the Pac West works as well as the NAIA level. Fouled off once more. We're going to stay at 2-2. He was at NCAA Division III Tufts out in Massachusetts. Their mascot was the Jumbos, which is actually his alma mater.
The Jumbos?
Yeah.
Like a shrimp?
The Giants, as we got a 2-2 here. Swing and a miss there. Hernandez will have to make the obligatory throw to Gallegos, and it's a K for Spencer Edmondson. There you go.
Also, Tufts, the Jumbo is an elephant.
Oh, there you go. On the ground, Slight Cart. This is where we hold our breath as Slight Cart has to make Gallegos stretch for it.
Number 23, A. Hernandez.
Did you not know this was his walk-up song?
No. As a matter of fact, we're expecting these guys to clear up as Hernandez is to the left side on his senior day. Yes. Tyler Shiganaka is a 327 hitter, good enough for second amongst everyday players. Obviously, we keep talking about that. Colton Perez has yet to play in half of the ball games. That's why we can't really classify him. He's sitting at that 24-game threshold out of our 50. But Colton Perez is our best hitter. He's at 351. We talked about his OPS. That leads the way. But Shiggy, 327 hitter with 34 knocks, 15 ribby, and 3 home runs. On the ground, chance at 2 for Westmont. They go the 5, 4, and 3. All will take inside there. Talking about Joey Rico, last time he pitched, he went 5 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned, 7 Ks, which was his season high against Menlo. Was that game? 2 walks as well. Hall's at 3-0. Talking about Brian Peck, what he did yesterday. That he was all Pac West a season ago. He was also the Pac West Pitcher of the Week last year on April 22nd. And he also set the career wins record as Hall is going to single through the right side. As Levi Hall needs a moment to put his mask on, which he said he didn't want to play with the mask. I mean, obviously when he got hit in the nose by the ball, that was all the way back in, January now? And so he said, I'm fine, but for insurance reasons, I said, no, you are playing with the mask.
Well, no one knew who Levi was until he put the mask on.
They didn't care who I was until I put on the mask. Gosh, people must think that we're nerds.
Dark Knight Rises is just a great movie.
It is.
It's just a great Christian Bale movie.
Yeah, it is. Kip Formularo takes elevated 2-0. Here in year 1, Hall's dancing, trying to flirt with Rico. 3-1 count now. Formularo drives this one up in the air, and nothing doing for Vanguard offense. One runner gets on, but is left stranded for Vanguard after the double play helped out Rico. We are through 2. Lions still down by 3.